Okay. Good afternoon, children.
Good
Hope you are all okay and yes. And welcome back to the literature lesson. I'm Mrs. Vasuki Senaratta from Joseph Pass College, Venapur. Today also we are going to discuss a very interesting poem, and that is the poem that is the most lengthy poem we have in our syllabus, right? Okay, you know what I'm talking about, and we are discussing about the poem Big Match. Okay. Right. Big Match 1983. Now, children, let's focus our attention to the title, right? Big Match 1983. You see, we have two words, Big Match, and all the two words are starting with the capital letter. And you find there a comma in between and 1983. So remember, we don't have any kind of article before the title of the Big Match. Okay, now focus your attention to the writer's name, that is Yasmin Gunaratne, but you find it somewhat strange in writing. The spellings of the writer's name, that is Gunaratne. Right, okay. Now, dear children, what comes to your mind when you just see the title of this poem, Big Match? Definitely, it is the big matches in schools. Of course, it's really interesting and attractive event, and it's like it's kind of a mania we have in this modern trends. That is the big matches. That is the big match. That is the cricket match between the two schools, two prestigious schools, right? I have captured some photos regarding the big matches. Now, if we go to the first one, you see, it is the big match, that is the cricket match. They are the players and they are the fans of these players. And here you see that these cricket matches are really well organized. And then, can you see these two pictures? Definitely, after the big match. What can you see here? Sorry. Yes, now actually we have discussed these big matches, right? Of course, yes, I just want to focus your attention regarding this big match 1983. You know what is the who is the writer, and definitely you have to focus your attention on the writer's name and the spellings. No worries, here are the pictures. It's really interesting. And this one, when it comes to the end of a big match, what do you feel? What do you experience? You see these pictures, it's really a havoc. Isn't that so? Here, the happiness and the pleasure and the mania, I mean, which we deal with the big matches in schools. But what is actually discussed in the poem? Is it about the annual big match schools? What will you answer? Actually, it's no. It's not really regarding the big matches between the two schools, right? Then what is it about? What is it about? It's actually the poetry is dealing with the Black July in 1983. So I know that you were not born in at that time in 1983, and you may have heard, definitely you may have heard many things regarding this Black July from your adults and from your parents and all. And let's just have a look about this Black July. So these are some of the paper cuttings I have selected for you to read. Shall we read them? Date 24th July 1983 to 30th July 1983. It was actually kind of a riot, right? Attack type, burning, decapitation, stabbing and shooting and all. Deaths, you see the number of deaths occurred during that number of limited number of days from 24th July to 30th July. And non-fatal injuries, 25,000. Black July is generally seen as the start of full-scale Sri Lankan civil war between the Tamil militants and the government of Sri Lanka. The riots began as a response to a deadly ambush on 23rd July 1983 by the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. So we call it LTTE, a Tamil militant group that killed 13 Sri Lankan army soldiers. So that was the basic incident that was identified as that killing of these 13 soldiers at that era was the basic incident, basic reason for this Black July. That is how it was identified and written in the history. Beginning in the capital Colombo on the night of 24th July 1983, anti-Tamil programs spread to the other parts of the country. So actually it began in the Borala area, but it spread out all over the country. So the main target was, so the LTTE militants children, actually they have killed 13 soldiers of Sri Lankan army, and to get the, yeah, of course, for that, to celebrate, and when these 13, when the burial of these 13 soldiers were happening, this kind of havoc was started by the mobs and hooligans and jackals and everyone, rowdies and all, right? Over 7 days, mobs, mainly Sinhalese, actually that was done by the Sinhalese, attacked Tamil targets, burning, looting and killing. Actually, they killed all of the Tamil civilians who lived in the Colombo suburbia, and they burned their properties and they killed and stabbed and looting. So all the havoc they have done. So I have captured some pictures. You see how these properties, how these vehicles were burned. You see these policemen. You can find, we will meet those incidents in the poem also, throughout the poem also. This is Fort Railway Station. Can you see how things have gone on, right? Here, the Tamil properties were burnt out without any humanity, right? And you see how Sinhalese, I mean, all these mobs and thugs, how these people celebrated the disaster of these Tamil people. So where is that humanity? So we were actually in that era, dear children, actually they were really harmoniously and peacefully living in this country together. පුතේ බොහොම සහයෝගයෙන් සමගියෙන් මේ හැමදේම ෂෙයා කරගෙන ජීවත් වෙච්ච පිරිසක්. But at this point, so they have raised against these Tamil civilians. How can you see how these, in the background you see that burnings are there, the flames are there, but here these people are celebrating the victory of burning and killings of the people, Tamil people. You see how brutal it is? Can you see this one? Definitely this may be a Tamil man who was naked. And can you see this, how these people are happy here, right? That is how the things went on, dear children. It's really a black mark. That's why we call it Black July, right? You see, people were teased at and they were killed at last. You see, the people who were wearing sarongs and these way, the national suits and all. So these are the Sinhalese, definitely, who were teasing who these innocent Tamil people. See these things everywhere. The havoc was prevailed, and you see the burnings here. Those the shops and the shop fronts and the houses were all damaged and killed, and they were burnt out. Yes, it's really heart paining. So these are some of the newspaper cuttings, horrors in the Black July. I think it's better we have to have an understanding. Armed with electoral rolls, Sinhala mobs targeted Tamil homes and businesses, looting and ransacking property. Driven from their homes, particularly in Colombo, over 3,000 Tamils were massacred, while 1,000 more were effectively deported by the state to the northeast. Right. Eyewitness reports describe mobs chasing Tamils down the street with knives and setting them alive. You see, hundreds of women were raped. Tamil political prisoners locked up in Valikada jail, deep within the island's south, were also targeted as prison guards allowed Sinhala inmates to slaughter them. So everywhere, this type of disasters happen. Motorists were dragged from their cars to be stoned and beaten with sticks. Others were cut down with knives and axes. Mobs of Sinhala youth rampaged through the streets, ransacking homes, shops, and offices, looting them and setting them ablaze as they sought out members of the Tamil ethnic minority. A mob attacked a Tamil cyclist riding near Colombo's eye hospital. The cyclist was hauled from his bike, drenched with petrol and set alight. You see how inhuman they were. As he ran screaming down the street, the mob set on him again and hacked him down with jungle knives. Now, that is what was happening there in these during these several days in July, month of July in 1983. Now, I think you have understood these things. I mean, the background of the Black July. Now I know that you know what is Black July, right? With all these details and emotions and all, dear students, let's go to the poem. I hope you have the book with you, and that is on page 10, Big Match 1983. So let's first discuss the poem, okay? Glimpsing the headlines in the newspapers, tourists scuttle for cover, cancel their options on rooms with views of temple and holy mountains. Flashpoint in paradise, racial pot boils over, and even the gone-away boy who had hoped to find lost roots, lost lovers, lost talent even out among the palms, makes timely return giving thanks that Toronto is quite romantic enough for his purposes. So you see, dear children, definitely that media aroused this problem, and as we all are aware, when this kind of internal conflict happened in a country, firstly, the tourists who have visited here become more helpless because they don't have anywhere to go. They don't have any place to escape, and even when the airports also were closed, they become really helpless, and they have just limited wealth even that they have taken here, and definitely they become helpless. That's what the writer focuses at the very beginning of the poem, glimpsing the headlines in the newspapers. So even to get attraction, even to attract the readers, these newspaper editors and all, they report in a very, very bombastic way. These news reports were done in that manner. So tourists scuttle for cover, cancel their options and rooms with views of temple and holy mountains. So these tourists consider this as a paradise. So they come here to watch and to be happy by looking at those beautiful sceneries, beautiful greeneries and all. And why these tourists visit Sri Lanka, right? But now they have to cancel their options. They are here with a schedule. Very first day we will be here, and the next day we will be there in Kandy, and then no really such kind of plans are there for the with the tourists, right? But here, when this kind of havoc occurs in a country, definitely they have to bother about these things, right? Flashpoint in paradise, racial pot boils over. Flashpoint in paradise. ඔය තමයි පත්තරවල තිබිච්ච news headlines. Flashpoint in paradise, right? පාරාදීසේ මිනිසිලු. Racial pot boils over. ජාතිවාදී හැලිය ලංකාවේ උතුරා හැලෙනවා. So those were the newspaper headlines. අනේ අරව දකිනකොට පුතේ අර touristලා. So they become utterly helpless there. And even the gone away boy. We see that this gone away boy, පුතේ අපි කියන්නේ expatriate කියලා. Expatriate කියලා කතාවක්. ඒ කියන්නේ පුතේ is a person temporarily or permanently residing as an immigrant in a country other than that of their citizenship. අර වෙන කොයි හරි පිට රටක ඉඳලා ලංකාවට එන්නේ පිට රටක ජීවත් වෙලා ඉඳලා ලංකාවට කීයක් හරි හොයාගෙන එන පුද්ගලයෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. that expatriate කියන්නේ gone away boy කියන්නේ එහෙම කෙනෙක්, right? දැන් එහෙම පුද්ගලයෙක් පුතේ මේ අවස්ථාවේ ලංකාවට එන්නේ මොකටද? To find out his lost roots, lost talents out among the palms. Definitely this boy may be a Tamil one. Palms, the word palm suggests, what is it? Where is it? Jaffna, definitely. Jaffna ගැන තමයි පුතේ කතා කරන්නේ. Definitely this expatriate is a Tamil one by race. Okay. දැන් එයාපෝට් එකෙන් ගොඩ බහලා ඉන්න මේ දෙමළ කතා කරන මේ තරුණයාට can he go to find out his beloved ones, beloved relations? Can he? No. මේ දරුවා පුතේ මේ වෙලාවේ පාරට බැස්සනා එයාට මොකද්ද සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ? අනිවාර්යෙන් මේ තියෙන තත්ත්වය උඩ මැරුම් කන්නනේ. Then what is he doing then? එයා මොකද්ද එතකොට කරන්නේ? Right? Makes timely return, giving thanks that Toronto is quite romantic enough for his purposes. So he's going back. Sometimes maybe he's with a very good I mean මොනවාද පුතේ අපි කියන්නේ ගොඩක් සල්ලි හම්බ කරගෙන මෙතෙන්ට ඇවිල්ලා ලොකු ආයෝජනයක් කරන්න බලාගෙන ආපු කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. But he, at this moment, at this juncture, he goes back to Toronto saying, it's better, my life is better there than this. අනේ මගේ ආදරණීය දෙමව්පියෝ සමහර විට තමන්ගේ relatives ලා හොයාගෙන lost talents even මෙහි establish වෙන්න බලාගෙන ආපු දරුවෙක් තරුණයෙක් වෙන්න ඇති. මේ අපිට lost උනේ සමහර විට ලොකු ආයෝජනයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. But he goes back because At that moment, Sri Lanka was not suitable for these Tamil peoples to live. You got my point? Okay. Second verse. Let's move to the second verse. Powerless this time to shelter or to share. We strive to be objective. Try to trace the match that lit this sacrificial fire, the steps by which we reached this ravaged place. This very first line, dear children, that's very, very significant. Powerless this time to shelter or to share. Okay. I earlier also I told you Sinhalese and Tamils who were living there, they were really lived harmoniously. They were sharing, caring with each other and all. එතකොට පුතේ මේ සහයෝගයෙන් සමගියෙන් මේ ජීවත් වෙච්ච ජනතාව මෙන්න මේ මොහොතේදී against ගියානේ නේද? දැන් අවංකවම සිංහල පුද්ගලයෙක් ඉන්න පුළුවන් මේ අල්ලපු ගෙදර මිනිස්සයාට උදව්වක් කරන්න. අනේ අසරණ මිනිස්සුන්ව එළියට ඇදලා දාලා ගෙවල් ගෙනි තියලා පුච්චලා මරණ වෙලාව. But can that Sinhala man help this innocent Tamils? පුළුවන්ද පුතේ? සමහර විට that may be the closest neighbor who were there in the long ago, since long ago. එදා කාලේ ඉඳලම එකට ජීවත් වෙච්ච neighbor කෙනෙක් මේ පුතේ ඉන්නේ. නමුත් මේ වෙලාවේ උදව්වක් කරන්න බෑ. Powerless this time to shelter. සෙවණක් දෙන්න. ඔයගලන් ගෙදර ඉන්න බැරි නම් අපේ ගෙදර ඇවිල්ලා ජීවත් වෙන්න හැංගිලා ඉන්න කියන shelter එක දෙන්න. And to share, and even to share at least a plate of rice with these people. No, they could not. They were really powerless. එහෙම වුණොත් පුතේ එහෙම අපේ අතීත ඉතිහාසයේ තිබුණා එහෙම උදව් කරපු සිංහල මිනිසුන් හිටියා දරුවනේ. හැබැයි ඒ මිනිසුන්ටත් සිද්ධ වුණේ අර විදිහේ අනිවාර්යතේ මරුන් කන්න. එතකොට will there be any kind of humanity? මනුස්සකමක් කියන දෙයක් ඉතුරු වේද දරුවනේ? Okay. We strive to be objective. Powerless අපිට කිසිම බලයක් නැහැ. හදවත ගැහෙනවා පුතේ. It's really heart paining because that screaming are heard from the outside neighbors. But how can we help these people? කොහොමද අපි උදව් කරන්නේ? That same incident occurred even during the Pasku attack. If you can remember, ඔය වගේම සිදුවීමක් against the Muslims we have seen last years, right? We strive to be objective. අපි ඉතින් උදව් කරන්න බැරි වෙනකොට කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. ඉතින් අපි අසරණයි මේ වෙලාවේ අපි මේ වගේ දෙයක් කියලා. By reasoning out those things, we try to be අපි නිකන් අර console කරගන්න. They were trying themselves to be consoled. තමන්වම console කරගන්න සිංහල සමහර මිනිසුන් උත්සාහ කරා. හදවතේ තියෙන උදව් කරන්න ඕනි කියන හැඟීම. But actually they were not be able to do that, right? Trying to trace the match that lit this sacrificial fire. May sacrificial fire. Actually, it's not the sacrificial fire. ජීවිත පරිත්‍යාග කරේ දරුවනේ තව කෙනෙකුට දෙයක් ලබා දෙන්නද? No, nothing. Right? It's really in a way that's ironical. The steps by which we reach this ravaged place. අපි අතීතයට ඉතිහාසයට ගමන් කරනවා. Right? How do we come to that juncture? අපිට කොහෙද වැරදුනේ? අපිට කොතනද මොනවද අපිට සිද්ධ වුනේ? That kind of things. Right? We talk of 48. I think you are I think you all are aware of these years. You know that 48, that is the year we got independence from the British Crown. And 56, you know now, when we talk about the history, we were invaded by the three races, Portuguese, Dutch, and English. So we had to undergo their own rules. So definitely people were actually suffered with all these three types of invaders. So by chasing them away, and we got the independence in 1948. Actually, that is a very remarkable year. Of course, yes, why not? But පුතේ එදා එතනින් එහාට ගත්තු සමහර decision තැන් වැරදුනා. Right? And 48 අපි දන්නවා දැන් 56 වල මොකද උනේ 56 of freedom. So now Sri Lanka after the 1948 Sri Lanka had a common people's government, but in 1956 Sinhala only bill, so that they made Sinhala as the state language 1956 වෙනකොට පුතේ සිංහල භාෂාව රාජ්‍ය භාෂාව වීම තුල යම් ගැටලු තිබුණා, because we are not a Sinhala country. Please remember that. So this is a multicultural, multiracial, multi-religious country. So being a Sinhala language as the state language, it led to number of problems here. Right. That is why they say of freedom, 1956 of freedom and the treacherous politics of language. Desdrohi Deshapalanika Bhashava. That was the point. That was the main point. I'm not going to talk about much about political things, but here the writer has mentioned. Okay. See the first sparks of this hate fanned into flame in 1958. May. පළවෙනි පුතේ 1958 වල තමයි අපි කියන්නේ it was the first Sinhala Tamil conflict over the issue of Sinhala being made the national language. Sinhala භාෂාව රාජ්‍ය භාෂාව වුණ තැනදී පුතේ everywhere Sinhala was handled. In each and every institute, the Sinhala was the main focus and the main language. So these sometimes අපි පුතේ මේක නොහිතුවට මේ Tamil මිනිසුන්, the Tamil speaking civilians, they became utterly helpless. Sometimes it may happening in today also, right? අදටත් සිද්ධ වෙනවා ඇති පුතේ. අපිටත් වෙන භාෂාවක් කතා කරන තැනකට ගියාම even we get that feeling, that cornered feeling also we get, because we cannot communicate with that language. How can we do that if we do not that any kind of language? Right? That barriers are there even today in the country. Right? Now, today we can manage with these because English has become the link language, but not in that era. So that has become a major problem, major issue in the history of Sri Lanka. Right? 58 තමයි පුතේ ඉස්ලාම conflict එක ඇති වුණා කියලා කියන්නේ. Of the issue of Sinhala being the national language, right? Here also fanned into flame in 1958, you see that first sound is repeating, we call it alliteration, yet find no comfort in our need solution, no calm abstraction, and no absolution. අපි කියන්නේ පරාදීන ජාතියක් වෙලා ඉඳලා කාලයක් තිස්සේම අපිට ඕන උනේ අපේම දෙයක්. In a way that's not wrong, I know, but it's really we have to think much more when taking political decisions. අපිට ඕන උනේ අපේ ආණ්ඩුවක් අපි ඒක පිළිහිටෙව්වා පුතේ. නමුත් ඒ ආණ්ඩුවක් පිළිහිටවීම ඒ political decisions අස්සේ යම් නොගැලපීම් කියන දේවල් තිබුණා කියන එක අපේ දේශපාලනික ප්‍රධානීන්ට වැටහෙන්න නැතුව ඇති. So still we are suffering with that kind of ignorant decisions. I think ඒක ඒ වචනේ හොඳයි කියලා හිතනවා මට. ඒ decisions එක පුතේ still we are struggling out, right? Okay, let's move on to the third stanza. The game is in others in any case. A very heavy saying. These fires ring factory and hovel, and big match fever flaring high and fast has both sides in its grip and promises. Dizzier goose than any at the oval. So you see, game is in any other, in other hands in any case. ඇත්තනේ දරුවනේ. මොකක් හරි game එකක්. Even when it comes to the cricket and also when it comes to the political game. They involve වෙලා ඉන්න අයත් නෙවෙයි මේ game එක handle කරන්නේ. That is definitely probably the outsiders. The people innocent and they were driven by some invisible hands. So that is why it is, the poet says the game is in other hands in any case. මොනවා සිද්ධ වුණත් game එක තියෙන්නේ කාගේ හරි අතේ. මේ involve වෙලා ඉන්න mobs ලගෙන්, rowdies ලගෙන්, hooligans ලගෙන් ඇහුවනම් ඇයි මේ මොකද්ද, what is the reason why you are burning all these Tamils and all, their wealth and all? They don't find any kind of answer. So they were driven by invisible hands, by the politicians, right? These fires ring factory and hovel. පුතේ මේ ගින්දර අනේ මේක දුප්පත් පැලක්, මේක නම් ලොකු මිනිස්සෙක්ගේ ලොකු මාලිගාවක් දෙමළ මිනිස්සෙක්ගේ, ඒ නිසා ඒක ඕනේ. මේ අහිංසක මිනිස්සෙක්ගේ ජීවත් වෙච්ච දුප්පත් පැලක් කියලා පුතේ මේ ගින්දර පැතිරෙන එක නැවතුනේ නැහැ. If it is a palace, if it belongs to the Tamil man, it was burnt out. If this hut belongs to the Tamil man, again it was burnt out. If that man spoke only Tamil, definitely he was brutally killed. The only criteria they had seen was non-Sinhalese. ඒක විතරයි පුතේ ඒගොල්ලෝ දැක්කේ. ඔය කියන රවුඩීස්ලාට, ඔය කියන මොබ්ස්ලා දැක්කේ ඒක විතරයි. Right? ඒ නිසා ඔය ඇවිලෙන ගින්දර, that fire caught up each and every Tamil people and their wealth. You see here in this picture also, what does this man here on the top of the roof? What is he doing there? He's searching the people who were hiding inside the house. Right? එහෙම හැංගිලා ඉන්න තැනක් පුතේ මේ මිනිසුන්ට තිබුණේ නැහැ. එහෙම රැකවරණ දුන්න සිංහල මිනිසුන් හිටියා. ඒ මිනිසුන්වත් පුච්චල මරපු ජාතියක් වෙලා හිටියා ඒ කාලේ. And big match fever. හරියට පුතේ big match fever now here the only place where the writer focuses and mentions about the big match. හරියට පුතේ big match season එකට, it's like a fever නේ. ඇත්තනේ. It's a really a madness spreading out, right? එක පිස්සුවක් වගේ spread වෙනවනේ දරුවනේ, you know that more than myself, right? Flaring high and fast. අන්න ඒ වගේ පුතේ මේ කියන Black July big match කියන එක හැමතැනම spread වෙලා ගියා. Has both sides in grips and promises. පුතේ grips තිබුණා, promises තිබුණා. Those are the underhand dealings, right? ඔය කියන දේශපාලනයත් එක්ක පුතේ හැමතැනම එහෙමයි. Invisible dealings, conditions කියන දේවල් තිබුණා. ඒව නම් අදටත් එහෙම වෙන්න ඕනේ. Right? ඒවත් එක්ක තමයි පුතේ මිනිස්සු හැසුනේ. That's why I told you, if we ask from these thugs and hooligans and all, why were you doing such things? They don't have any kind of answer. They didn't have any kind of answer, right? They didn't have, because they were all done by the invisible hands of politicians, right? Dizzier scores than any at the oval. Puthe are a cricket match oval ground here, in the sense that Saravanamuthu Stadium oval ground එක cricket match එක score එක වැඩි වෙනවට වඩා වැඩි වේගකින් පුතේ පිස්සුවෙන් වගේ, with that kind of madness, that dead body score එක වැඩි වෙනවා Black July එකේ. So that's what dizzier scores means, damage caused by the fire, right? So that kind of things are there. So why it is, dear children? Those are the black prints in the history of Sri Lanka. Although we claim that we have the proudest history, is this the proudness, right? මේකද දරුවනේ අපි ඉතිහාසයේ තිබිච්ච ආඩම්බරකම් අපි මහා ලොකුවට කතා කරේ අපි හරි හොඳ මිනිස්සු වගේ කතා කරමු. It's not so. මේ කතා කරන්නේ දරුවනේ those are the people who have the I mean the first hand experience with this Black July, right? Okay, now up to these 3 stanzas, dear children, we have focused the general scene of the society in within those 3 or 4 days, right? මේ දවස් 4-5 ඇතුළත තිබිච්ච general incident එක තමයි පුතේ අපි මේ දැක්කේ. Now here the writer focuses her attention to a specific place. Okay, shall we discuss? In a tall house, dim with old books and pictures, calm hands quit the clamoring telephone. So that is a place where that is a house where which was filled with books and pictures. What does that suggest or symbolize? ගෙදරක පොත් පිරিলা තියෙනවා කියන එකෙන් what does that suggest? Definitely that humanity, that knowledge is there, educated people are there. That book suggests that educated people are living in that house. ඒකනේ දරුවනේ ඉගෙනගත්තු මිනිසුන් පිරිසක් ජීවත් වෙනවා කියන එක එතනින් කතා කරන්නේ. එතකොට පුතේ මේ then what does that education suggest? Education කියන එක ASCII that humanism, civilization, even knowledge, all were hidden within the word that education. මේ books කියන වචනෙන් suggest කරන්නේ ඒක. එතකොට පුතේ අර educated කියන මිනිස්සු තමයි මේ අසරණ උනේ. Right? මේ කොහෙවත් අධ්‍යාපනයක් නොලබපු මිනිස්සු මේ දවස් 4-5 ඇතුළත රජ වෙලා අර මිනිස්සු නැත්තටම නැති වෙනකොට මේ අධ්‍යාපනය ගත්ත මිනිස්සු පැත්තක. So they have become really utterly frustrated and disappointed at this era. Right? මෙන්න මෙහෙම ගෙදරක නේද? Tall house, calm hands quit the clamoring telephone. Definitely that must be a landline telephone. Very hamdena telephone, a clamoring telephone. You see that onomatopoeic words are there. Calm hands. ඒක කෑ ගහන සද්දට දුවගෙන ඇවිල්ලා ගත්තා නෙවෙයි. Right? බොහොම නිස්කලංක අතකින් ගත්තනේ receiver එක. It's a strange, now he's talking. The person who took the receiver is talking with the other one. It's a strange life we are leading here just now. අමුතු ජීවිතයක් අපි මේ දවස්වල ගත කරන්නේ. Not a dull moment. It's really sarcastic and also humorous, ironical, all are there. Not a dull moment. Dull moment, අයියෝනේ. එහෙම dull moment එකක්ද මේක? No, it's not. No one can complain of boredom. කවුද එහෙම එපා වෙලා කියන්නේ? දැන් මේ දර්ශනත් එක්ක පුතේ දකින්නකොට මිනිස්සුන්ට ඉබේ මැරෙන්න සුසයිඩ් කරගෙන මැරෙන්න හිතනවනේ. දැන් කතා කරන කෙනාට මෙයා කියනවා. You see the ironical state of these words? තේරෙනවද පුතේ? ironically මෙයා මේ කතා කරන්නේ. කවුද එහෙම කියන්නේ? boring ද? අපොයි නෑ. Not for that, sure. Up all night keeping watch. මුළු රෑ පුරාම නිින්ද නෑ. ඇහැපිය වෙන්නේ නෑ. ඇහැරිලා ඉන්නේ බලාගෙන. And then as curfew ends, your brave lands. Curfew. You know what curfew is? ඔය දැන් රෑ තිස්සේ curfew දාලා හෙට උදේ 6 වෙද්දි curfew end වෙනකොට ඔයාලගේ your brave lands වලට your brave lands dash out at a dawn to start another day of තව දවසක් ඔයාලගේ මේ උදාර දිවයිනට ඔයාලගේ මේ නිර්භීත දිවයිනට. So then definitely surely this man must be a Tamil man. Of course, yes. Right? Your brave lands dash out at dawn to start another day of fun and games and general jollity. අතර නැතු හෙට උදේ එළි වෙනකොට කර්ෆියු වැරෙනකොට ඔයාලගේ ඉතින් මේ නිර්භීත ඔයාලගේ දිවයින කියන පුතේ දැන් අපිට අයිති නෑනේ. ඒකනේ මේ මොබ්ස්ලා ඇවිල්ලා තන්ස්ලා ඇවිල්ලා අපිව මරලා යන්නේ අපි මේ දිවයිනට ආйти නැති නිසානේ. That's what this man says. ඔයාලගේ brave land එකට මේ විදිහේ දෙයක් හෙට උදේ ඉර පායන්නේ general jollity. ඔයාලට හෙට වැඩ තියෙනවා. ඔයාලගේ සුපුරුදු targets තියෙනවා. Ambitions, you have all these things and even the fun and games. හෙටත් match එකක් cricket match එකක් පටන් ගනි. That is for you only, not ours. That's what this man says, right? Of fun and games and general jollity. සාමාන්‍ය ජොලියෙන් ජීවිතය ගත කරන්න ඔයාලට හෙට දවසක් විතරයි. මම මුළු රෑම හැවෙලා. Right? I am keeping watch all the night. I send Padmini and the girls to a neighbor's house. We have seen that in the newspaper cuttings, I think you can remember, hundreds of women were raped at that moment. So this man, this father, right? He sends Padmini, means definitely the wife and the daughters to a neighbor's house. පුතේ තමන්ගේ දරුවෝ wife මේ අබු දරුවෝ ටික පුතේ තමන්ගේ ළඟ ගෙදරකට විතත් කරලා මේ මිනිස්සයා මේ ගෙදර දාලා යන්න බැරුව රකින්නවා. වැඩිපුරම රකින්නේ පොත් ටික. Because he can't take them to the other people's house. ඒ තමයි ජීවිතේ. අධ්‍යාපනය අරමුණු කරගත්තු මිනිස්සෙගේ ජීවිතේ. Even you and I also worth these kinds of books. එහෙම නෙවෙයිද කියලා හිතලා බලන්න. එහෙම මිනිස්සෙක් ජීවිත කාලෙම හම්බ කරගත්තු තැන පොත් ටික දාලා පුතේ අපි යනවද තව ගෙදරකට යන්න බෑ. තමන්ගේ ජීවිතේ වගේ වටිනවා ඒක දරුවොත් වටිනවා දරුවන්ව වෙන කොහේ හරි යවලා right right then dash out I sent Padmini and the girls to a neighbor's house ඔන්න කියපු කතාව මම යවනවා යාළුවා ගිහින් මම තනියම ඉන්න බලා බයි ගහි කොයි වෙලේ කඩාගෙන පණේද who me කවුද මමද oh I'm doing fine here dear children brave lambs he also mentioned but we can argue it as a brave lads කියන්නත් පුළුවන් but dash out at dawn and your brave lads අපිට මේ දෙකම තර්ක කරන්න පුළුවන් thank you teacher brave lads කියන්නත් පුළුවන් brave lads මේ brave lads ලානේ දැන් මේ ඔක්කොම මේ හැවොක් එක නිර්මාණය කරන්නේ they were the people who played the game definitely it must be here that two ideas are there right who me කවුද මමද a rhetorical question you see oh I'm doing fine I always was a drinking man you know කතාවෙන් පුතේ can you understand that this other than this Tamil man definitely in the other end of the telephone that must be a Sinhala one මේ අර හිතේ තිබුණු පුතේ ලෙන්ගතුකමට that emotion that feeling that caring sharing feeling that because of that humanity that Sinhala man takes a call for this one එතකොට දැන් අහගන්න දෙයක් නෑ පුතේ වැරද්ද අපි ඇත්තේ ඒකයි අර sarcastic words ටික ඔක්කොම අහගෙන හිටියා ඔයාට කොහොමද කියලා අහන්න ඇති who me මමද කවුද මමද I'm doing fine මට ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ මම හොඳින් ඉන්නවා you see that sarcastical and humorous language this man uses right I always was a drinking man you know මං ඉතින් හැමදාම අපි අපේ කතාවෙන් කියනවා නම් දරුවනේ මං හැමදාම පොඩි අඩියක් ගහගෙන හිටපු මිනිස්සයානේ but and nowadays I'm stepping up my intake quite a bit මේ දවස්වල වෙනසකට තියෙන අර එදා ගහපු පොඩි අඩිය එක පොඩක් වැඩි වෙලා intake එක පොඩක් වැඩි වෙලා ඉච්චරයි nothing else that is the only abnormality unusuality I have is that the truth no never බඩට කෑමක් වැටෙන්නේ නැත්තේ කොයි වෙලේ මරලා යයිද කියලා බය ගැහෙන මිනිහෙකුට but he says so එයා එහෙම කියනවා right the general idea being that when those torches come within 50 feet of this house don't you see it won't be my books that go up first but me general idea එක තමයි අනේ අර ටෝච් අල්ලගෙන මේ පුංචි ඉඩකඩට නැත්තම් ඔය ටෝච් අල්ලගෙන මහර කකුල් මෙච්ච ඒ කියන්නේ සෑහෙන ප්‍රමාණයක් පුතේ මෙතන ගෙදරට ආවොත් ඔයා දන්නවනේ ඉතින් මගේ පොත් ටික නෙවෙයි යන්නේ ඉස්සෙල්ලා මම it's not me it's not my books that go first by me he knows that ඒ දැන තමයි පුතේ ඉන්නේ whether this will end by now and then කියලා දැන් ඉවර වේද අද ඉවර වෙයිද තව පැයකින් ඉවර වෙයිද මෙහෙම හිතාගෙන පුතේ මේ මිනිස්සයා පොත් ටික රැක ගන්න තමන්ගේ වෙල්ත් එක රැක ගන්න ඉන්නවා ජීවිත කාලයක් හම්බ කරපු දෙයක් right එයා හොඳටම දන්නවා පොත් ගිනියන්න නෙවෙයි ඔය මිනිස්සු පොත් ගිනි තියන නෙවෙයි එන්නේ මාව හොයාගෙන එන්නේ because I'm a Tamil man I'm speaking Tamil right it won't be my books that go up first but me it pulls මේ කතා බහත් එක්ක පුතේ මේ දෙන්නටම කතා කරන්න දෙයක් නැතුව යනවා then steady and every bit as clear as though we are neighbors still as we had been in 58 දෙන්නටම කතා කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ ඒ නිහඬතා within that 2-3 minutes silence they both remembered that as we are still neighbors as we had been in 58 now this is 1983 අපි 58 එකට ජීවත් වුණු neighbors ලා නේද කියලා දෙන්නටම මතක් වෙනවා now this Tamil man understands the helpless condition of this Sinhala man මේ helpless condition එක සිංහල මිනිසයාගේ මෙයාට දැනෙනවා පුතේ that's what then he says thanks by the way for ringing අනේ කතා කරාට බොහොම ස්තුතියි thanks by the way for ringing there's nothing you can do to help us but එයා කියනවා පුතේ හරිම understanding person කෙනෙක් ඔයාට මේ වෙලාව අපිට උදව් කරන්න කිසි දෙයක් නැහැ කියලා මම දන්නවා but it's good to know some lines haven't yet been cut නමුත් සමහර lines තාම cut වෙලා නැහැ කියලා දැනගැනීම that means very huge idea is there right some lines it's not this man does not indicate about the telephone lines අපි දන්නවා පුතේ ඔය කියන ගින්නට telephone lines ඉතුරු වෙන්නේ නැහැ it's not the meaning right he suggests he says he wants to say that right and the writer wants to say that still some human hearts are there still some bonds are there ඒ bond එක නිසානේ දරුවනේ අර සිංහල මිනිස්සයා කතා කරන්නේ මේ Tamil manට isn't that so right එයාට කතා කරන්නේ එකයි still some human minds human hearts human values are there ඒක ගැන මට සතුටුයි කියලා කියනවා සමහර lines තාම cut වෙලා නැති එක ගැන මට සතුටුයි that is the hidden idea in this line okay out of the Palmyra fences of Jaffna bristle 100 guns මේවා මෙහෙම මේ ප්‍රදේශවල වෙද්දි දරුවනේ යාපනයේ පැත්තේ ඔකේ අනෙක් පැත්තට අපේ පැත්තට එසවිලා තිබුණා guns by the LTTE militants but here we have done the blunder if that killing the 13 soldiers were the main reason these people have gone to Jaffna and find out who the victim who the offenders කවුද චූදිත අර 13 දෙනා මරපු කියන එක පුතේ හොයන්න තිබුණේ මෙතනින් නෙවෙයි so we people we were the one who played the blunder we means the political side politicians of course yes shop fronts in the Peta landmarks of our childhood පුතේ මේ පිටකොටුවේ තිබිච්ච අර shop fronts හරිද landmarks අපි ආගිය තැන් that's what writer says අපි ආගිය තැන් මේ සියල්ලම පුතේ මොනවද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ curl like old photographs in the flames අර මතකයන් පමණක් ඉතිරි කරලා they have left only the memories in the people who were alive ජීවත් වෙන මිනිසුන්ගේ මතක තුල මතකයන් පමණක් ඉතුරු කරලා මේවා පිච්චිලා ගිහිල්ලා. Blood on their khaki uniforms. 3 boys lie dying. මේක පුතේ අපි කිව්වා even they are at the very beginning. It is mentioned that these fires ring factory and hovel. Right? Factory and hovel හැමතැනම spread වුණා කියලා කිව්වා. So now here that khaki uniforms. These khaki uniforms, please switch off your, please mute your mics and all, right? Khaki uniforms symbolize the law and order of the country. පුතේ අපි දන්නවා khaki uniforms ඇඳගෙන ඉන්නේ කවුද කියලා. Here also you can see there are several policemen, but they are there. They don't take any kind of action to stop these things, at least, right? Blood on their khaki uniforms. 3 boys lie dying. Humanity has lost and gone, right? Lost. The crowd looks silently the other way. අර යුනිෆෝම් ඇඳගත්තු තරුණ පොලිස්මන්ලා 3 දෙනෙක් ලේ තවරගෙන බිම වැටිලා මැරිලා පුතේ. පිරිසක් ක්‍රවුඩ් එකක් ඉන්නවා එතන. ඔය සටනට ගිහින් වෙන්න ඇති. ඔය අස්සරින්ගල මොනවා හරි කරද්දී ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ රාජකාරිය කරද්දී වෙන්න ඇති. නමුත් එතරම්දි මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? කවුරුත් humanity කියන එක බලනවද? කවුරුත් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවද? මොකක්ද මේ වෙන්නේ කියලා බලනවද? අර මැරිලා වැටිලා ඉන්නව නේද ඉන්නේ hospital එකකට ගෙනියන්න? No, nothing. Right? The crowd looks silently the other way. Even the civilians are not sensitive to these things. Civilians are not sensitive. Near the wheels of his smashed bicycle. අර කුඩු පට්ටම් වෙච්චි bicycle එක ළඟ bicycle. At the corner of Duplication Road, a child lies dead. Duplication Road එක කෙළවර පුතේ bicycle එකටත් කුඩු පට්ටම් කරලා පොඩි දරුවෙක් පොඩි කොළු පැටියෙක් මැරිලා. And 2 policemen look the other. Policemen දෙන්නෙක් ළඟ ඉන්නවා, but they were looking at the other way. They were pretending that they had not seen this dead body. The podi daruwe is really innocent. What is the fault of this innocent child? What has he done? Nothing. The only criteria was he was a Tamil boy. So he was got killed and died brutally. If these policemen look the other way, where is the law and order of the country? Law and order humanity, where is the humanity? Law and order on everything. මේ අසරණ පොඩි දරුවෙක් මේ ළමයා මැරිලාද නැද්ද බලන්න hospital එකකට ගෙනියන්න තරම් humanity එකක්. So we have to be ashamed of ourselves, right? As a stout man, sweating with fear, falls to his knees beneath a bo tree. You know that bo tree, what does that symbolize, right? That is a symbol of Buddhist. And the innocent, here these innocent victims, although they were Tamils, they have gone to the to seek protection from these religious institutions. පුතේ මේ තැමිල් වුණත් බෝගහක් යටට දුවලා තියෙන්නේ. This strong man මොනවද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? Falls to his knees beneath the bo tree in a shower of sticks and stones. බෝගහ යට පුතේ දන ගැස්සලා අර මිනිස්සයාට ගහනවා. ගල් මුගුරු පොළු වරුසාවකින්. So then where is this religion? කොහෙද පුතේ ආගම කියන එක ගිහිලා තිබුණේ? We know that we people go these things, we believe these things and we earn protection from these kind of religious symbols and all. That is common to the all. That is common to the ordinary people. But had those institutions can give the protection for those people? මේ අසරණ මිනිසුන්ට protection එකක් දෙන්න දරුවනේ පුළුවන් වුණාද? No. Flung by පුතේ අර පොළු මුගුරු වලින් බෝගහ යට දනගස්සලා ගහන්නේ කවුරුත් නෙවෙයි, nothing else, nobody else but the neighbors. Tamangema Asalwasi. They were the people who shared and cared and everything from the past years since their childhood. But at this juncture, people have become inhuman, devil-like. So they were beating this innocent man, kneeling this man under a bow tree. The joys of childhood, friendships of our youth, ravaged by pieties and politics. අපි පුංචි කාලේ හදාගත්තු යාළුකා, the bonds we had since the childhood of ours, they have all dead and gone. They have destroyed all of these things. මේ එකට අත්වල බැඳගෙන racial harmony කියලා අපි ජීවිතේ අරගෙන ආපු දේවල්, රාධන ක්‍රිෂ්ණලා එක්ක මේ නිමල්ලා සිරිපාලලා. What has happened to these memories? They have ravaged by these kind of mobs and hooligans, right? Screaming across our screens her agony, at last exposed Sri Lanka burns alive. Our TV screens wala, radio channels wala, newspaper headlines wala, me tatwe pute, it was really highlighted, heightened, right? In that bombastic and flowery language. Antimata api dakapu ekawade, Sri Lanka is the mother of all the communities, irrespective of their ethnic and religious identities, but everything destroyed by these people. Me hama deyakma pute. Sri Lanka burns alive. You focus your attention to the verb, dear children, that is burns. Actually, it is written in the simple present tense. Why is that? Because if we continue to become as such others victims, and if we continue these behavior patterns, there's nothing to say about Sri Lanka. It may burns alive every day. Hamadamat meka tamai situation. That's what the poet says. So, dear children, it's almost 5:30. The lesson is not yet finished, but let's do the rest of the things in the next week. Okay. And now we have come to the end of the poem. We have done it. We have discussed the poem, and then the next day, next week, let's discuss the themes and the questions and also the poetic devices and all. Right? Okay, children, I hope we had a very good session and you have learned many more things. And then it's really wonderful for not being disturbed. And I think you got something, and thank you very much. Yes, of course. Thanks and madams and all for giving me this opportunity. And let's meet next Wednesday, dear children. God bless you all.
God bless you, teacher.
God bless you.
God bless you, teacher.
God bless you.
God bless you, teacher.
God bless you.